We are here for checkpoint training, as we do with other batches also. First of all, we will discuss with you that which content we are going to cover in this entire training, so that there should be a clear picture. There should be not be nothing hidden. Okay, that this will covered or not. So it will be a crystal clear picture in our mind that in this training what we will cover and what we are going to cover in future. So you need to go to I-MEDITA website, go to www.imedita.com, checkpoint-training. From this URL, you can see the content, and let me copy. So what you will learn in this training, this is the content which we are going to cover. Copy it, take it to Notepad, paste it, done. So this will be the content which we will cover in this entire training. So first of all, we will learn here what is firewall, what are the firewall techniques available in the present time. We will discuss about them. Then we will go through with Checkpoint Gaia. What is Checkpoint Gaia operating system? What are the features provided by Gaia? Then we will learn here how to install Checkpoint in VMware, or how to make lab so that we can do the practice of Checkpoint Firewall features. Then we will also learn how to make lab on EVNG. EVNG is the tool on which we will make topology, you can say topology or lab, so that we can implement the things or feature in our lab environment before implementing it in our production. So till now, it will be just firewall introduction, firewall techniques introduction, Gaia introduction, Gaia installation, and how to make lab. After this, we will learn here implementation of IPv6 static routing and default routing. We know very well that Checkpoint Firewall by default it's work as a L3 device, and it can perform routing. Checkpoint can perform IPv4 static routing and default routing. We will learn how to implement it. After IPv4 implementation, Checkpoint Gaia or Checkpoint Firewall also support dynamic routing. In dynamic routing, it support RIP, routing information protocol implementation. We will learn that. We will also learn how to implement OSPF in detail. After IPv4 static routing, default routing, RIP, and OSPF configuration, we will learn here that how to configure IPv6 static routing and default routing. In same way, we will also learn how to implement RIP-NG, routing information protocol, next generation, as well as we will also learn here how to implement OSPF version 3. So as you will learn the things on IPv4, same thing you will learn on IPv6. Next, we will learn implementation of security zone. Normally, on Checkpoint, we deploy policies based on IP address. But when someone will ask us, like, is Checkpoint Firewall support a features as Palo Alto did, like zone? Palo Alto Firewall is a zone-based firewall. Is zone-based feature available on Checkpoint or not? Then we can answer them yes. Checkpoint Firewall also support zone configuration. We can configure zone. We can deploy policy basis on zone. So we will learn that. Then we will learn later how to implement time-based access or time-based restrictions along with policies. Till now, we will complete here routing basis on IPv4 and IPv6. After that, next advanced topic will come here. Introduction and implementation of network address translation. Every firewall do network address translation. Firewall is placed between trusted and untrusted network. When the traffic will go from trusted network to untrusted network, then definitely we would like to hide our internal network, or we would like to hide private IP behind our public IP, so that we need to do netting. And when we are doing netting, then what is net, what is the importance of net, types of net, and which kind of net we can deploy on Checkpoint, we will learn here. As we learn network address translation on IPv4, same thing we will learn on IPv6 as well. So we can say we will learn netting on IPv4 and IPv6. After netting, then we have here next thing, introduction of IPsec. We know very well that when we are working in a production environment, definitely our company may have multiple branches, and then we want to connect to each other via internet. For secure communication, we will deploy IPsec VPN. For that, we should have knowledge what is IPsec VPN and how we can configure that. Then, after the theory or introduction or demo of IPsec VPN, we will learn here VPN, that how to configure VPN checkpoint to checkpoint. It may be possible that in some branches you have Cisco router, then we will learn how to configure site-to-site VPN checkpoint Gaia to Cisco router. It may be possible that in some branches you have Cisco ASA, then we will learn how to configure site-to-site VPN between checkpoint Gaia and Cisco router. We will also learn with Palo Alto, FortiGate, and Juniper. So these are the different means in when we are talking about security. In security, there is not only one vendor, there are multiple vendors. So we have tried to add some another vendors configuration as well, so that when you are doing the implementation of IPsec VPN, then you will learn here not only with Checkpoint but also with another vendor. So these are the major firewall vendors: Cisco, Palo Alto, FortiGate, and Juniper. So you will learn that how to configure VPN with different vendors as well. Next, we have here, okay, so site-to-site VPN will be used.
So I have a question. So you said like you'll be explaining about the OS, like VPN between the routers as well as the checkpoint. Will I get the lab or the image will be provided
Don't
for
worry
configuring
about
this?
that.
Mm-hmm.
Every resource will be provided to you, as
Okay.
well as I will also tell you how you can make the lab
Mm.
at your PC or server. But for that
Okay.
you required a good configuration desktop or server on which you can do all these labs. All resources we will provide. How to do, we will tell you. Recording you will get later. You can try it in your lab environment. Next. Okay, so till now we have gone through with site-to-site VPN. So site-to-site VPN is only used when we have two branches, okay, or more than two branches connected with internet. So when we are talking about branch-to-branch communication, then we use here IPsec VPN, or we can say we used here site-to-site VPN. But what is SSL VPN here? Now assume that we have internet connection, and that internet is connected with Checkpoint Firewall. Checkpoint Firewall connected with switch, and then we have our internal network. To internet, we have a user which we will call this is our remote user. Now, this remote user is connected with internet. It means our firewall also has public IP, and this remote user also has public IP. Public IP can communicate with public IP, but this work from home user want to access our internal resources like private IP 10.100. By default, it can't access, but we want this work from home user or remote user should be able to access the internal network. Then we have to deploy here SSL VPN between remote user to checkpoint. Yes, between remote user PC to checkpoint. And with the help of this SSL, VPN, our remote user or work from home user can access the internal network of a company. So we will also learn that what is SSL VPN and how to implement it on Checkpoint Firewall so that my work from home user should be able to access our internal servers or internal resources from their home location. Next we have here identity awareness. Now what is this identity awareness? For that we need to draw something. Now we are talking about identity awareness. Assume we have a PC. Okay, we are talking about here identity awareness. We have a PC connected with checkpoint. Checkpoint is connected with internet. Now at this checkpoint we will configure rule like my lane can access to internet, so we need to deploy policy here. That policy will allow the traffic from inside to outside. But here we want to add more security. And what we want? We have our AD server in our lane. This is our Active Directory. Okay. And we want to deploy at this server policy. We want to deploy policy based on AD group. Like on AD, we have HR group, we have sales group, we have IT group, we have admin group, like this. Now we want to deploy policy on our firewall that if source is our HR, IT, sales, and admin, then action they can access which one? They can access internet in this way. For that, we need to integrate our checkpoint firewall with our AD, or we can say here when we are doing here AD integration, when we are doing here AD integration with checkpoint Gaia, that is called identity awareness. Okay, when we are integrating our AD with checkpoint Gaia, that will be called here identity awareness. And with the help of identity awareness, we can deploy policies based on AD group. We can deploy policies based on AD groups. Okay, first thing, we can deploy policy based on AD group, as well as we can also configure captive. We can also configure here captive portal authentication or user authentication. You can also deploy here user authentication. User authentication means if this user is authenticated by AD, only we will allow him or her to access the internet, otherwise not. And third op, we can get here accurate user info instead of just IP. Okay. Normally, when we will get log here, normally in log, we will get here something like this, that this source IP and this destination IP and action was allow, or we can say here action was allow or deny. Normally in log, you get source IP address information, destination IP address information, and you see the action. But we are not happy with that. We want accurate user information. You can achieve with the help of identity awareness. If you want to deploy policies based on AD group, you have to use identity awareness. If you want to configure user authentication or captive portal authentication, you have to use identity awareness. And what we are doing in identity awareness? In identity awareness, we are integrating Microsoft AD, or we can say here LDAP server with Checkpoint Gaia. When we want to achieve these three things, we want to deploy policy based on group, we want to deploy authentic user-based authentication or captive portal, and or when we want to get accurate user information, we will or we have to use here identity awareness. How to do it? That is the part of the lab, but now it is the first day, and here I'm just telling what we will cover in this thing. In identity awareness, we will integrate Checkpoint with AD so that we can achieve group-based policy, we can achieve user authentication, we can get here accurate user information. These three things we will achieve with the help of identity awareness. Next is here introduction and implementation of HTTPS inspection or SSL decryption. What is this? To understand it, let's go through the diagram. Assume we have a PC. We have a PC connected with Checkpoint Firewall. Checkpoint Firewall is connected with internet, and internet is connected with a server like SSL, or we can say HTTPS. At this firewall, we will allow SSL or HTTPS. When we will allow, then you will see client will be able to establish a direct tunnel with the server. When we will allow, definitely client will establish a SSL tunnel with the server, and it means only the client know and server know what is going. And with the help of this SSL tunnel, they can do secure communication. Okay, along with secure communication, they can also exchange virus, they can exchange spyware, they can also exchange restricted files, upload and download they can do. We know very well that this SSL or HTTPS protocol was designed for secure data communication. It means client and server, they can communicate with each other in a secure way. It means no one has idea what is going under this SSL tunnel. If we have allowed SSL or HTTPS, client and server, along with secure communication, they can also exchange virus, spyware, and restricted file. Now we want that our firewall should be capable to block virus, to block spyware, to block restricted file if that is going under the SSL tunnel. So by default, it can't do. To do so, our firewall should have capability of HTTPS inspection or SSL decryption. So to do so, our firewall should have capability of HTTPS inspection, or we can say SSL decryption. When we will enable HTTPS inspection or SSL decryption on our firewall, then our firewall can see what is going under the SSL tunnel, and it can block virus, it can block spyware, it can block restricted file. Only secure communication is the data which is not harmful for us, that will be allow rest of the traffic or restricted or violating traffic will be dropped here. That's why we need of, that is the reason we need of HTTPS inspection or SSL decryption, because this protocol or tunnel can be used for attack. Our firewall should be capable to detect such a kind of attack, and that should be capable to stop such kind of attack. We can only do this if the firewall can see what is going under the SSL tunnel, and that thing we can implement with the help of HTTPS inspection. When we will enable HTTPS inspection, then firewall will not allow client to directly establish a session with the directly establish the session with the server. When we will enable HTTPS inspection, then there will be two sessions. One session will be between client. One session will be here between client and firewall. And another session will be between firewall and the actual server. When data is in tunnel, only then we can say it is encrypted. But when data is available on firewall, it is in plain text format. When we have data in plain text format, we can filter the traffic with the help of checkpoint blades like antivirus, anti-spyware, and after filtering the traffic through the blade, we can send the traffic to inside or outside in this way. But before if you want that traffic should be filtered with blade, our firewall should be capable to see what or which kind of content is going under the SSL tunnel, and to do so we need to enable here HTTPS inspection. But remember it, you can only see which kind of data is going under SSL tunnel if you will enable HTTPS inspection or SSL decryption. Okay, you will enable SSL decryption or HTTPS inspection, and this feature is only available at next generation firewall. Next generation firewall has capability of HTTPS inspection or SSL decryption, and there are 3 vendors or 4 vendors in the market: Checkpoint itself, Palo Alto itself, FortiGate firewall, and Cisco FTD. These 4 vendors firewalls are next generation firewall, and they can provide you HTTPS inspection or SSL decryption, using which you can see what is going under the SSL tunnel and you can control that. So this was something about HTTPS inspection, or we
So
can,
sorry to interrupt. And so basically, this will read the packet. That's all. Not modify anything. Just
no.
in between the
Mhm.
uh, in between it is like it is a plain text. So it will read the packet like what is the what is there in the content, and it will do if it is some virus or something, and it will drop the packet. That's all.
Yes.
Not modifying anything.
No, it will
Okay.
work. The firewall will work as a man in middle.
Okay.
Means when client wants to communicate with server, so that connection means for client, it client at client you will see you are communicating with server, but actually technically client is communicating with the firewall and firewall is communicating with the server. So when firewall is intermediator, it means that has plain text data and it can read it and it can filter it. Clear?
Yeah, it's clear now. Okay. It won't act as a proxy. Just it will
Yeah,
read the data.
yes,
Okay.
it will work as a proxy.
Okay. Got it.
So next is here URL filtering. So till now what we have done, till now our firewall is capable that it can identify the user. Okay, that what is the user, and it can do user authentication as well, or we can say captive portal. Next problem was here that if user is establishing SSL tunnel, our firewall can be bypassed. Then don't worry, Checkpoint has capability that it can, Checkpoint has capability, it can, hmm, it can decrypt that, and it can give after decryption, you can control that. Next is here URL filtering. So what is the importance of URL filtering here? Assume we have a PC here connected with Checkpoint. Checkpoint is connected here with internet, and at internet we have different kinds of server like Google, like Facebook, like YouTube, or like torrent servers or website available. When user will send request, by default user can access any website, but we want in our organization user should not be able to communicate with YouTube, Facebook, or torrent. For that we need proxy server. If you want that user should not be able to access specific URLs, to control that there is a dedicated device in the market which is called proxy server. With the help of proxy server you can control URL access. But Checkpoint says if you are using my firewall, then there is no need of proxy server. What you need to do, you need to just enable URL filtering on Checkpoint Gaia. If you will enable it, then Checkpoint Firewall has inbuilt categories like when we are talking about Google, Google belongs to search engine. Next, we have Facebook, social site. Next, we have YouTube, streaming video. Next, we have torrent, like torrent site. In this way, we have multiple categories available on the Checkpoint. Now, after enabling URL filtering, you can control like search engine should be allowed, social site should be blocked, streaming video, block, torrent, block, or if there are also any another category, you can block that. Now, what will happen? If user is sending a request like google.com, request will come at firewall. Firewall will check, okay, Google is search engine. Then that request is allowed. If user is sending request of Facebook, Facebook request will be denied. User is sending request of YouTube, that will also block here. Okay. And if user is trying to access torrent, that request will also block here. So ultimately, the result or benefit is this: if your motto or target is only to control URL access, then you can use Checkpoint Gaia feature URL filtering. And with the help of URL filtering, you can control that. There is no need of any proxy server here. Okay. The task which will be done by proxy server, Checkpoint Gaia can do it in a single box or within the same box. Just you need to enable URL filtering on your firewall. Then with the help of URL filtering, you can or we can minimize the risk of attack, because mostly attack will come in a format or in the format of file or data. That file or data you will download from torrent or any another servers. Okay, so what we can do, when we will block that category, user will not be able to access that site. And if user is not able to access that site, then yes, we can say user will not be able to download the data from that particular site. So we are increasing here security of our network. So simple, with the help of URL filtering, we can control URL access in our organizations, that our internal user can access which URL, or user should not be able to access which kind of URL. So this we
Okay.
can.
I have a question. Okay. So you said like, is there any database for this? Like, what are the categories of the websites? Is there any database in parallel to? There is a separate database. Like on categorize, we can categorize that URLs. Like, if, for example, if someone for educational purpose, we can categorize. Is that the same way? Is there any database function here in Checkpoint Firewall?
Just like Palo Alto, it has categories. On Palo Alto, we
Mm-hmm.
have 70 plus category. You can
Mm-hmm.
allow that or you can deny that. Same here, we have categories, as well as if you want to, for example, we want to, for you are working in Google and you would like to use Google, but you will not like to allow Bing in your organization. So instead of blocking entire category, as Palo Alto did, we can create here custom URL, and in custom URL you can put the URL, specific URL, not the entire category. So specific URL also you can allow or deny. Means it will also allow you to create custom URL as Palo Alto did. Clear?
Yeah, got it. So, and one more question. And if in my organization there is a sales team, they want access only the Facebook, but the only the content, not the other parts like gaming, chat, and can we restrict that as well here?
I understand your question, but I agree with you. But that thing doesn't is not the part of URL filtering. In Palo
Okay.
Alto, that comes under the content ID. Same thing
Mm,
you can do, not content ID, that comes with app ID. Okay, if you have an idea that you can achieve or you can control the application, but with the help of URL filtering, you can only allow or deny URL. If you are saying, I am the salesperson or admin person, I want to block chat, I want to block a post or upload, you can do that. But that thing will come here in application control. So Palo Alto app ID feature is also provided by Checkpoint, but not with the name of app ID. It is provided with the help with the name of application control. Remember it. What Palo Alto is providing, same feature is providing Checkpoint, same feature is providing FortiGate. Name can be different. Clear? Implementation can be
Yes.
different, and it may be possible. Some vendor will provide you more control, some vendor will provide you less control. So it can be vary, but all firewall vendors provide same set of features. Clear?
Yeah, it is clear.
So next, after URL filtering, we have here content awareness. So what is the content awareness? As you told, you have idea of Palo Alto. In Palo Alto, we have a feature like content ID. Content ID, with the help of content ID, we can enable antivirus profile, anti-spyware profile, uh, data filtering profile, and file blocking profile. So here, those things are provided with the name of two things: content awareness and threat prevention. So what is the content awareness? Content awareness you can call here like content awareness is equal to your, it is equal to like file blocking file. Okay. And threat prevention is just like antivirus and anti-spyware profile. So same thing you can do here. So let's go with it. Content awareness and threat prevention. Go to the diagram. Okay, 1 minute. We have a PC connected with checkpoint, checkpoint connected with internet. Till now, we have make it possible that the features which we have covered, we can see the data, we can identify users, we can control the URL access. But now the data which is accessible to the users, we want to control that. And that, like client, we have here public server. Client is sending a request. We have a client. Client is sending request to public server, and from that public server, user is downloading, for example, .exe file and .pdf file. For example, we are taking only the example of two. So user is downloading two type of files, exe and pdf. If any user can download it, so use any user means normal. When we are talking about PC must be managed by PC admin. Only PC admin should have right to do this, but normally any user can download it. But with the help of which one? With the help of content awareness, content awareness, we can configure policy on our firewall. If any user is downloading exe file, then what to do? Block it, block exe, and block pdf file as well. So normal user or any user which you have configured in policy, that they will not be able to access such kind of files, or they will not be able to download these kinds of file here. So with the help of content awareness, we can control that which kind of content or file extension should be downloadable by client or not. And it is also possible that when the user is sending request to public server, user is sending a request to public server, client is sending request to public server, and in the response, the public server is offering a data or offering the file. Data is coming. That data can has virus, can has spyware, can has malware like this. If we want to control that, for that we need to enable here which one? Threat prevention blade. To stop this threat, we need to enable here threat prevention blade. When we will enable this threat prevention blade, then the Firewall will check if it is virus, that will be blocked, spyware will be blocked, malware will be blocked. So when you will here enable here threat prevention, it means you are enabling IPS signatures, antivirus signatures, anti-bot signatures, and using those signatures you are making sure that virus should be blocked, spyware and malware. If firewall see any malicious traffic which is trying to come in our organization, firewall can detect it and block it. So these same features also provided by Palo Alto with the name of content ID, but here we are using two different names. Content awareness means only you can control the content type or file extension type, and with the help of threat prevention, when you will enable here IPS signature, antivirus and anti-bot signature, it means you are preventing your network from virus, spyware and malware. Clear? So these things will become under content ID and your content awareness and threat prevention. Clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Next, the answer of your previous question, that you want to control, enable deeper control, so that will come here under application control. So what is application control? Application control is equivalent to app ID. And what is this? To understand it, let's go with a diagram we are talking about here. Application control. We have PC connected with checkpoint, checkpoint to internet. We have a server here like Facebook. Now, first this user will establish session with the server. One session will be there. Under that session, there will be another session, second session, then there will be third session. In same way, there will be multiple sessions within the same connection. Now let's check it. Oh, the client is communicating with the Facebook server. And here, this client will establish first session. Client will use dynamic port number. It will hit to 443. And first client will establish a session of SSL. Under SSL, there will be another session like Facebook. Then there will be another session like Facebook chat, like Facebook post, like Facebook games, like Facebook events, like Facebook audio, video, etc., etc. Normally, when we will allow here which one, SSL, then this entire within, when client is communicating with the server, then this entire traffic or entire application communication is allowed by default. But we want that when user is trying to access any server, that can do Facebook, okay, and but we want to control some applications here which are available here, so you can also do that. You can allow SSL, you can allow Facebook, you can block chat, you can block games, you can block event, audio, video, file download like this. So specific application you can also allow here. Same thing you can do with Google. You can allow, one example can be like this. Another example, you can allow SSL, you can allow here like Google, you can allow Google Docs, but you can block Google Docs download, you can block the upload, you can block editing, you can block. Just as Palo Alto provides, same thing you can do with Checkpoint as well. So with the help of application control, what we can do, when one client and server, they are communicating with each other, you can identify with the help of application control, you can identify, you can monitor, you can control the session or communication between client and server. When one client and server, they have a session with each other, they are communicating with each other, you can identify, you can monitor, you can control, you can identify this is SSL, this is Facebook chat, as well as you can control them. You can identify this is SSL, this is Google Docs, download, upload, and you can control that. As Palo Alto do, same Checkpoint can also do. Only the difference is some will provide you more control, some vendor will provide you less control. So how we can define it or understand it? With the help of application control, we can identify, monitor, and control the session which is going between client and server. We can control, we can identify, like this is SSL session, this is Facebook session, this is Facebook chat, post, game. So after identifying, you can control what is allowed, what is denied. Clear?
Yeah, so these are each are modules that we need to be enabled. And okay, if we are enabling multiple module, will the device can able to handle all the things at a time, at a stretch?
As you know that Palo Alto can handle, then why not Checkpoint can't handle? So as Palo Alto is powerful in its device configuration, Checkpoint also. So
Okay.
you no need to worry that it will do or not, because we know very well. We purchase the device according to our requirement. For example, if we want to purchase a car or bike, so first of all, we will see our requirement, what is my requirement and what is my budget. And according to budget and requirement, we purchase the device or vehicle or any another appliance. Same here. In if you think like in Checkpoint, they have in Palo Alto, they have separated control plane and data plane. For to do so, they have multiple processors, multiple RAM to do these functions. So same thing also available in Checkpoint Firewall or in FortiGate Firewall. You not need to worry about that.
Okay. Understand.
Next is here Checkpoint Sandblast. Checkpoint Sandblast is equivalent to Palo Alto Wildfire. So what is this? Let's understand it. Assume we have here a PC connected with Checkpoint. Checkpoint is connected with internet, and internet is connected with a public server. We have a user at this PC. This user will send a request to public server. From this server, user will download a file. Okay. Now, till now, we have configured like content ID, content awareness, threat prevention. Till now, we have only configured one kind of rule, like rule number one. It means if you know the attack or non-attack action. Deny. And how we can know the attack? Because we have the signatures of antivirus, anti-spyware like this to make it easy. I'm using different colors here. It means we have signatures. Now, client will initiate a request to public server. Public server will send a file. Now, firewall will match this file with non-attacks. Not matching, it means it has no virus. If it has no virus, it means file download is allowed. When there is no virus, then no problem with the file or data will be allowed. If assume this file contain any virus, spyware or malware, this file will be matched with a non-attack. At this time, file is matching with our signatures. When file is matching with file has pattern is matching with our non-attack. If pattern is matching with non-attack, action is denied, then this file will be denied. Now we can say that when we are talking about a firewall or normal firewall that can deny non-attacks. But what about unknown attack or zero-day attack? Now assume this file contain a virus and which we will call it unknown attack or zero-day attack. We have a file contain virus, or we can say that is ZDA, zero-day attack or unknown attack. When this file will come, this file contain virus, but that virus is not matching with our non-attack. So you see, no matching with signatures, then here, this file which contain ZDA, zero-day attack or unknown attack, that is allow, or zero-day attack or unknown attack can bypass the firewall, because firewall will work on basis on the rule. According to rule, if such kind of pattern will come, you need to deny, otherwise rest of the traffic you need to allow. Now, in this case, normal firewall goes fail to prevent our network from unknown attack. To prevent our network from unknown attack, and another technique was introduced, which is called here sandbox inspection. This sandbox inspection is marketed with different names by different vendors. So Checkpoint says it is Sandblast. You can call it sandbox inspection. As a open source, you can call it Sandblast for Checkpoint. You can call it Wildfire for Palo Alto. So a second technique was introduced, which is called sandbox inspection or sandblast or wildfire. In sandbox inspection or sandblast or wildfire, we create another rule. And in this rule, we create rule number 2, that if attacks are unknown attack, then action for unknown attack, send information to cloud or data center. So Palo Alto firewall will send to Palo Alto cloud, Checkpoint firewalls will send information to Checkpoint cloud. Now you can assume we have here Checkpoint cloud, Palo Alto cloud, or FortiGate cloud, or Cisco cloud. Done. Now simulate again. Client initiated a request to public server. Public server is sending file. At this time, the file is not matching with known attack. At this time, file is matching with unknown attack. Now, firewall will send information to cloud. This information will be sent to the cloud which belongs to firewall. Means checkpoint to checkpoint, Palo Alto to Palo Alto, FortiGate to FortiGate. Now the file which contains zero-day attack will be submitted to the vendor cloud. When this file will be submitted to the cloud means data center, there they have dedicated engineers. As Palo Alto says, we have worldwide 42 units, but Checkpoint doesn't make any commitment like this. We have how much unit? They says that, okay, if you will send the file to our cloud, we will analyze it. We will identify it that actually what is this. If this is virus, then we will generate antivirus, or we will generate update of it. We will generate update of it, and that update will be pushed to your firewall. Now they will generate antivirus update or signature, IPS signature. They will send to firewall. What firewall will do? Firewall will accept it, and it will place that signature or update in known database. Now the attack is known. What will happen between this period? Because firewall is sending update and firewall is getting update, definitely there will be a time window. So all vendors claims that if you have submitted a file, you will get update within 3 to 5 minutes. If you have sent any file to our data center, we will send update to you within 3 to 5 minutes. Now, what will happen within this 3 to 5 minutes? So we can say here, before update, ZDA will be allowed, and after update, ZDA will be denied. ZDA or zero-day attack or unknown attack will be denied. But remember it, in present time, there is no vendor who can prevent you from initial unknown attack. Means if you are the first victim, no one can protect you. But yes, it may be possible that if your firewall has detected any unknown attack, they will send to cloud will send update, then again firewall will accept update and it will protect you. Okay, so this update is not only for you, this update will go to all same vendor firewall. Means Checkpoint will send to Checkpoint, Palo Alto will send to Palo, same vendors, they will share inter-vendor communication is not allowed, because this is the patented technique, and they apply high charges for this technique. So remember it. So what is Sandblast here? Sandblast is actually sandbox inspection technique. In it, we configure Checkpoint Firewall in this way that if you see any suspected activity, if you see any unknown attack information, send it to cloud so that cloud can send you update, and you can accept that update and you can protect your network according to the update. So sandbox inspection is marketed by Checkpoint with the name of Sandblast, and sandbox inspection is marketed by Palo Alto with the name of Wildfire. And in sandbox inspection, we configure our firewall or IPS or IDS in this way that if you have any information about unknown attack, send it to cloud so that they can do the deeper inspection, because they have much resources as compared to single standalone firewall. Clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Next, so this is our Sandblast. Next is what? Next we have here clustering. So what is clustering? As Palo Alto provides HA, same here. Same thing is provided by Checkpoint. Now, assume we have a PC connected with Checkpoint Firewall. Checkpoint Firewall is connected with internet here, and now we have single point of failure at this device. Now what we can do, instead of single firewall, we can deploy here 2 firewalls. We will connect them like this. Okay. Now we will make one firewall primary, another firewall secondary. Primary will be here, active, secondary will be here, standby. We will also connect a dedicated link within firewall. This will be called your cluster link, okay, or HA link, whatever you will call. With the help of this link, you will see here that, for example, if we have config on firewall, that configuration will be shared with secondary firewall. If primary firewall has any session, that session will be shared with secondary firewall. If a primary firewall has any VPN session, that will be shared with secondary firewall. Any TCP or UDP connection is there, that will be shared with your secondary firewall. Means real times in configuration, or we can say here that real time config and sessions will be shared with each other. First of all, what will happen? The primary firewall traffic will go primary firewall to internet. If your primary firewall will goes down, then secondary standby firewall will become here active, and now the traffic will go via new active to firewall. Okay, so what we are getting here, with the help of clustering or cluster Excel, we group multiple checkpoint firewall as a single firewall. Okay, and we will configure one firewall as primary, another as secondary. First traffic will go via primary, and if primary firewall goes down, secondary firewall will take over the role, and all the traffic will go via new active firewall. And here We will configure a dedicated link between these cluster firewalls so that they can communicate with each other, and this will be called cluster control link. And this cluster control link will use cluster control protocol, which use UDP port. CCP cluster control protocol use UDP port 81164 for their communication. Okay, with the help of this protocol they will communicate with each other, they will perform cluster, they will synchronize their configuration and session with each other, and they will provide you HA just like Palo Alto firewall. Clear?
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah.
So this was something about that what we are going to cover in this entire training. So these features are mostly similar just like Palo Alto. Next is here that how to, these are the practicals only, certificate based login, and how to set admin permissions here. We will see this thing practical. And here in as you see that in Palo Alto we have Panorama, in Checkpoint we call that SMS, security management server. Okay, so we will do all these things with the help of SMS integration. So this will be the content, select all, copy it. Whatever we will cover, we will note it. So this will be the content which we will cover in this entire training. So here, first, course content introduction, what we will cover in this entire training, we have discussed here. Today we will keep only this because it may be possible that some another student will join, and from tomorrow onwards we will go through with what is firewall introduction, firewall techniques introductions, Gaia introduction, etc. etc. Clear?
Yeah. Okay.
See you
And
tomorrow. Mhm.
yeah. Oh, is there any material or something? So, what are the trainings we are going through? Is there any material?
Michael, be frankly, if you want to learn
Mhm.
Checkpoint,
Okay.
there is no such documentation
Mhm.
like as another vendors have. Okay,
Okay.
the
Okay.
reason is this: you can get a lab guide from our side, but
Mhm.
problem is this: those lab guides were designed in a certain environment which they have already pre-config. Okay, and
Okay.
means they will tell about their product. Okay,
Okay.
they will
Okay.
not tell anything what is firewall technique, the things which I have mentioned here, routing, repo,
Mm.
SPF, they will not tell how to do it.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Okay,
Mm. Mm. Okay.
so the
Okay.
I can share with you, or I will
Okay.
do share with you, but problem
Okay.
is this: using those documents you can't learn. Rarely, if you have expertise only, then you can understand what is trying to say and how to do it. This is the problem.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but
that I clearly understood. The reason is I searched lot of material. Then only
Mhm.
I came to conclusion that I need to go for a training because in current organization they have checkpoint. I have knowledge like how Gaia works and what is the tier 2, tier 3, and these things basic knowledge I have, but not the entire stuff. I tried with the different videos, different material. I didn't get the exact thing. So that's the
I
reason I
know.
was.
That's why, frankly, I'm saying.
Mm.
So, what we will do to
Okay.
understand it, we will not go through with only admin guide you can download, or no need to download. Tomorrow I will share resources with you. You can
Okay.
download. But problem is this: there is means that content is not designed only for learning perspective. You have to search a lot of stuff, then you have get okay what it is trying to say. So
Okay.
this is the problem. So what we will do, so that's why with every student in every course we tell them clearly we are going to cover this thing. Okay, and whatever is mentioned here we will tell you that what it is theoretically it is saying and how practically we can achieve it. But to do so, we will not use
Mm,
only checkpoint document. We will use Cisco documents also. We will use Palo Alto document also, because
okay.
the thing which you are here for app ID. So in app
Okay.
ID, Palo Alto, this here application control checkpoint say we can do this, do this, but checkpoint will not tell actually how it is working. Okay,
Okay.
when we are
Okay.
talking about decryption, how it is working, it will not tell you. So this is
Okay.
the problem. So
Okay.
when
Understood.
we will do this, so what to do, what we will do, or what I
Mm-hmm.
will suggest you, as you already told you that I
Okay.
have searched lot of documentation, same problem is with us, that
Mm,
we have also tried with a lot of documentation, videos, research lab guide, etc, etc. So they tell only that how to do implement their device, but not as a fresher, not as a learner. So
understood.
do
Yeah.
we will do all these things from scratch. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Understood.
how to
Understood.
do in industry you are already doing, but
Mm-hmm.
what is missing, how to start from basic, how to initially access it, how to implement the things, I want to know that. So those, that thing you will learn here, clear?
Okay. Yeah. It's clear. It's clear. Thank you.
And that's why not only with checkpoint, same thing we will do with Palo Alto, that if you want to learn the things, we
Mm.
can make you learn.
Thank
Okay,
you.
see you tomorrow.
See
Bye.
you. Yeah. Have a nice day. Bye.